If you're looking for some unique Steam artwork, check out steamartwork.com. Choose from dozens of professionally made, stunning, and clean designs for your Steam profile. Click the link in the description to learn more. Welcome back to Top 5 Super Steam Profiles of the Week. However, this time I think I'm gonna do them once a year. I'm not exactly too sure how often I should do these ones, because these ones are kind of like a much longer videos. But these are going to be basically what I deem the absolute best Steam profiles, probably of the year. So this video is going to go a little bit more in depth of the artwork, styles, and the profiles are also all considerably much longer. So this video will be noticeably longer. I do also want to make an announcement about a restructuring of the YouTube channel and what I see going forward for its future. I feel like every week posting these top 5 videos is starting to get a little bit more repetitive. So I'm going to still do them. I'm just not going to do them as often. I feel like I'm going to be posting a top 5 video probably once every month or 2 months whenever I deem it's going to be necessary. Instead, what I'd like to start doing is exploring possibly some different ideas with my content Steam related and just try to change up the channel a little bit. Once again, I just feel like the top 5 videos are just getting a little bit too repetitive and it's time to switch up some things. So if you guys have some suggestions of what I could do, please feel free to leave that down below in the comments. I'm eager to listen to them. So with that being said, grab your popcorn, level your Steam at steamlevel.com, sit back, relax, and let's get into the top 5 Steam profiles of the year. I do also want to give a quick honorable mention to Keygen. Although Keygen didn't actually make the top 5, he was super close. I mean, he was off by like 1 or 2 votes. So I still wanted to include him in the video. Keygen has a very nice casino-styled profile. He's got a lot of sick static-like animations where there's kind of a lot of effects moving around the centerpiece. So I'll have him also linked down below in the description. You guys should definitely check him out because this definitely is a sexy-ass profile. Coming in at 5th place this year, we have Jurasim with a purple space-styled profile. Jurasim's profile has always been one of my favorite profiles on Steam. I feel like all throughout we see sort of a minimalistic style animation, but a lot of those small mini animations to make up a bigger picture. I think there's a lot of subtle movements where nothing is too flashy, and this is what really makes it very beautiful. In the first artwork of the profile, we can see a beautiful character animation. It just looks so super fluid, and it's not too flashy, but it's just so damn well animated. Underneath those, we can see the vast unknown and a few more space images, ultimately leading us to another beautiful character animation. The character right here looks a lot like Morgana from League of Legends, so shout out to all my LoL players. I may or may not have 800 hours in my lifetime on that thing. Probably even more. I haven't checked time wasted on LoL in a while. But once again, we got those super subtle effects everywhere along this artwork. We can see the letters here also enlarging and shrinking, and I love these shooting stars going on in the background. Scrolling down, we can see a beautiful collection of space badges followed by 3 more animations of the same character here. Each of these seems to have its own kind of spin on it as well as its own individualized background effects. In the first one here, we got some awesome bright vibrant orange glows. The second one here, the same thing but in blue, and then the last one goes back to those same sort of orange glows. I like how you put the blue one in the middle. It kind of offers some symmetry between the two. There's then a collection of 3 more female characters, and in this first one here, we can see some absolutely beautifully animated hair. In the second one, we got some awesome background effects, and in the third one, I absolutely love how the eye is glowing, especially when she blinks. How that glow kind of dissipates is super realistic. Now I will say, however, that I think the pink in this middle one is throwing me off a little bit. I just think it's a little bit out of place with the rest of the profile, as pretty much everything else is purple. So if you can, I would go ahead and switch that to purple. We can then see an emoji art of the Steam logo, and this is followed by a few more alien-like female character animations. All of these are almost the same exact style. So we have this one, this one, this one, and finally this one. I do think that this last one is my personal favorite personally. I will also say that the background effects are actually very nice. The way these kind of weird lines go outward, haven't quite seen it before, so good job to you. Finally, he ends us off with a few more guide showcases, each of which is representative of each of the planets in our solar system, and then with a few more miscellaneous showcases, this is gonna go ahead and wrap us up. I think this is a beautiful profile, Jurasim. I think this is damn near perfect, my friend. As I said, the only thing that I would edit is this one pink showcase. I think it's just a little bit out of place. So if you couldn't honestly change that to purple, I would just take it off. This is the top super profile, so you know we gotta be a little bit more critical. But other than that, my friend, great work and congratulations on getting 5th place. Coming in at 4th place, we have Wavy with the absolute beast of a purple profile. Wavy's profile is also one of my personal favorites of all time. You can see he starts us off with just such a bold purple color palette. I also really love the background choice as well. I don't think I've ever seen that one used on another profile. Wavy seems to coordinate his purple profile a lot with his CSGO inventory, so we'll see a little bit more on that later. Starting us off, we can see two CSGO images here. The first is going to be showcasing his skins, and in the second we can also see Gengar from Pokemon, and it's also with a CSGO character. And this Gengar character is also portrayed all throughout the profile, so keep a lookout for him. We can see he then follows us all up with some PC specs, and this is followed by a beautiful electricity border effect of Gengar. I will say though that it does seem to sort of cut off at the very end, so it isn't 100% perfect looping, but I do still think that the timing of everything, however, is very nice and just very well animated. Underneath those, we can see some super expensive purple skins. My favorite here is the Lightning Strike. I think I actually used to have one of those back in the day when I used to be a CS kid. So there is then 3 more character animations in his workshop showcase. Each of these is also going to be featuring the Gengar character somewhere. So in the first one, we can see that it is up here in the top corner. In the second one here in the top left. And in this last one, we can see that it just looks so badass being there in the very back. I love the glows on the eye, especially while it blinks. That kind of effect is very difficult to do, and it just done very well, so good job. He then has some pretty nice looking emoji art, one final guide showcase, and this is going to lead us to the last few bits and pieces of groups and badges, and that's gonna go ahead and wrap up this profile. You got a super nice looking profile, my friend. This is honestly a 10 out of 10 in my books. Everything goes together super well, and you did an awesome job following your theme, my friend. Congratulations on getting 4th place. Coming in at 3rd place this year, we have Bruno with an absolutely beautiful themed Chainsaw Man Steam profile. In the first artwork of the profile, we can see the nicest animation I think I've seen of Chainsaw Man. This is just absolutely sick, my man. Especially the way that the wire kind of goes around the chainsaw. That's some nice attention to detail, and it just looks really good. The cyto breathing animations on both of the characters here is also super well done and super nice to see. And once again, this is definitely one of the nicest artworks I've seen on Steam yet. Underneath that, we can see another beautiful artwork of Makima. I really like how the chains sort of dangle around the character and also around the artwork, and how the people are kind of dangling around her as well. That's a nice effect. The way that the blood drips off the character here at the very top is also nice to see. I will say, however, that it does seem like the chainsaw here at the bottom left is a little bit off. If this is supposed to be connected to the head of the character, which I assume it is, the timing I think is just a little bit off. So if you get that fixed up, that would be nice. We can also see a red matted style animation, and this one right here is my personal favorite of the profile. I think the people at the bottom here really seal the deal for me, the way they're kind of reaching out and things like that. Bruno then has yet another Makima piece here where he decides to sort of split into a dark and light side, and they're kind of facing away from each other. I think that looks really nice. He then has a collection of more showcases of just Makima, as well as a few scenes from the show. I'm gonna be saying Makima about 100 times, so be ready for that. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it wrong. I've never watched the show. So if I am, you guys can grill me in the comments. And you can see there's just a bunch of animations here, each of them having very similar animations, so those hair movements, those blinks, and things of that nature. He does also have some slight breaks between some of these animations by using like his guide showcases or some info boxes. Or something like that. So that is nice to see because it kind of gives the viewer a nice little break between them. I think this break right here especially is what I like, where he showcases just a bunch of emoji art. I feel like there's been less and less emoji art on Steam, so we gotta bring that shit back, guys. Come on, it's cool. His guide showcase right here also features a collection of characters from the show, I believe. So it's nice to see a little bit of some other characters besides it being just Makima. But hey, that's the theme, that's the theme. You gotta stick to it, my friend, and you are. Finally, he ends us off with this last beautiful piece, which you definitely can't get on my website, steamartwork.com, link in the description. And then he has 2 more workshop showcases here at the very bottom. Now, I will say that although these workshop showcases are very nicely animated, they do seem a bit out of place. Considering the entire profile is Chainsaw Man, and especially very heavily Makima themed, I think these 2 just honestly shouldn't be here. If I were you, I just go ahead and remove them. But other than that, my man, you definitely do have a kick-ass profile. Definitely stuck to that Makima theme super well. You stuck to those reds really nice. I'm also digging that level 111 for that red board. Steamlevel.com, level your Steam Pro fast and cheap, quick and easy. Steamlevel.com, link in the description. Great work, my friend, and once again, congratulations on getting 3rd place. Coming in at 2nd place, we have J-Worst with a beautiful pink theme profile. All throughout this profile, we can see the sort of same character, all of which she's just always beautifully animated. I think that all throughout the profile as well, the hair animations are really what sets it apart from other profiles. In this first artwork, we can see an absolutely stunning animation of the character, and once again, you can see that lovely hair animation. I also like the kind of charms around her, what is it, those earlobes? I think that's what you call them. So I kind of like the charms around them and how they kind of sway from side to side, as well as her necklace piece. I think that's also done nicely. This is followed by another animation of the same style, and once again you can see that same kind of hair animation. This time it's paired with quite an interesting blink. Whenever she kind of opens her eyes, the camera unfocuses. I think that adds some nice depth and some nice realism to it. However, it does seem like the border here is a little bit unfinished on this artwork. If you look closely, you can see that the border is basically static. There's not really any effects on it, and the artwork also seems to be cut off here at the bottom. So I'm not sure if this is intentional or if this is accidental, but I tried to go ahead and fix that to make the border a little bit more universal with the rest of your work. Now, this third character animation seems to be just a little bit older, and although there isn't too many hair animations going on in this one or facial expressions, the blink that was added is still a nice effect, as well as that swaying effect on the earrings is there. J-Worst then has an info box of just some basic information about him, followed by a series of guide showcases, all of which showing the character Yae Miko. I think that's how you say her name. There's then 3 more animations, which I believe were all there in the last video that I recorded. For those who don't know, J-Worst was actually in a top 5 as well, but just like a regular of the week series. In this first one here, I want to point out the attention to detail in this one strand. I feel like things like this really do take a considerable amount of time to add, but these small things like this are really what take the artwork to the next level, so I love that you have that, my friend. We can see he then has a blue-haired character, which I'll be honest, seems a little bit out of place. I'm not really sure where blue goes with the color scheme. And then he does have also, once again, this final character, which is also a little bit out of place to me. If I were you, I'd honestly just go ahead and remove these last 2 characters. They don't really follow your theme, and although they are nice animations, I feel like you kind of built your theme around one thing and then they're just kind of added here at the end just because you have them. So I just go ahead and remove that if you can. I mean, you can do it. I mean, I guess if you want to take my advice, I just go ahead and pop those bad boys out the profile. This is going to go ahead and take us to the last few miscellaneous showcases that he's got to fill up some of that space. And that's finally going to go ahead and finish off this profile. Overall, I really love your profile, J-Worst. I do think that the pink resonates throughout very well, except on those last 2 pieces. So I'd go ahead and remove that. And with that being said, if that was removed, I think everything would be in place and coherent with each other. So great work, my friend. Thank you so much for submitting your profile, and congratulations on getting 2nd place. And coming in at 1st place and being the #1 crown profile of top 5 Steam profiles of the year, we got my main man, A-Dot Mustard Man, with an absolutely beautiful cyberpunk themed profile. Throughout his entire profile, the colors really do pop, and he does stick with that neon cyberpunk theme super well. In the first artwork of the profile, we can see that this jacket here has this really deep glowing effect. This is probably my favorite effect on the entire profile. I just think it looks really good, and I also really like the border effects that he's got going around the artwork. I will say that throughout his entire profile, these border effects are on basically all of the artworks, as well as these particle effects that you can see here in the background. In the second artwork of the profile, we can see that he has the same sort of style. And here the hair has actually some super vibrant effects as well. And I also like the blink on this one. The third artwork of the profile is my personal absolute favorite, and it's this animation of Harley Quinn. I think it just is super fluid. Everything moves together very well. It moves together very natural. And I really like how those small strands in front of her head also move independently of each other. Underneath that, Mustard Man gives us a small featured showcase of his name, and this is animated by a series of 3 more artwork showcases. All 3 of these showcases also seem to have that same sort of glowing vibrancy effect, and this creates some unison throughout them. In the first here, we can see this blue animation on the shirt. In the second one here, we can see the bright pink animation. And in the third one here, we can see those blue animations on the jacket of the character. Mustard Man then has a series of random showcases that all kind of still display those same kind of neon color types, and that's going to go ahead and wrap up this profile. And for those who don't know, Mustard Man is also one of the Discord mods. In the Discord link in description. And ironically, no, I did not decide to put him in first place. We did make a vote, and everyone had an opportunity, everyone had a voice to vote for who they thought was first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and those were the winners of this video. So once again, my friend, you have a wonderful profile, Mustard Man. Great work. Congratulations on getting first place. And congratulations on winning top 5 Steam profiles of the year. I kind of like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll switch the top 5 of the week to of the week. I don't know. We'll see. Bye, everybody. Like and subscribe.